In the beginning, there was light, and after that, movement. In the origins of gaming, some games by their bare design force the game to move to make you as the player an active participator. Pong, when in play, has constant movement on screen. Well, if you're two players at least. This is my 3-part series called Games as They Are. This video is about how games communicate time passing by with environmental design and how the shorthands we use in lived reality can never really blend as simply by saying it looks visually realistic. We are going to look at older games that had limitations but still today have life and warmth. Let's throw it back. Yeah, it's Sonic. All the way to Sonic 1. We can remove all the HUD elements in a scene and the world would still feel alive. The background waters glimmer and the flowers are dancing continuously. There's always something interesting happening, telling your brain this world is alive and it is breathing. Let's go to Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. I always found this strange. If you remove the timer at the top and look at the screen and don't touch anything, the game could be a screenshot. It's a dead world.
Yeah, shit, I never noticed.
This gives off a sort of liminal space feel. The space is big and there's nothing happening on screen. It's pretty creepy. Jeez. Weirdly enough, in this cave here, we actually get rock sparkling in the background. A fine attempt at life. Removing the timer now, it actually feels like something in this game has a beating heart. Let's go to the next game they made, Yoshi's Island. Wow! What a difference, huh? The game introduces itself with a great spinning world map. This game doesn't care if you're here or not. This place is alive. Now, we didn't just get an art direction change, but most, if not all screens, now has a bouncy cloud, a rotating platform. This game overcorrects with life. And Yoshi's helping too, with his marching idle animation. There's no way you can feel this stuff isn't running. Even underground scenes now have flowing water, the stone floor glimmers, like goddamn. There's a lot going on here, and it's great, isn't it? And Yoshi's Island is all the better for it. Unmistakably more heartbeat and life. And can I add, a dash of cozy warmth. So let's step back again into Capcom and their long-lived series Mega Man on the NES. I always felt more impressed with the levels that had spinning cogs and life in the levels rather than the static flat-feeling worlds. Or at least parts that were rooms where nothing moved. As soon as you kill an enemy and you just stand there, Mega Man blinks, I think, occasionally. You just wiped out all life in this scene. In something like Mega Man, it's dead obvious when the game feels alive and exciting compared to when it's sterile and dead.
Oh, so all games need to be kid-coded HDHD with a dash of the tism, zero attention span, super experiences?
Yeah? No, of course not. But I'm not debating good or bad here. More sweet and sour, cold or warm. Let's look at a game that uses sterility to enhance its experience. Valve's Half-Life and Portal. Cozy and warm isn't what I would call them in the conventional sense. They are sterile and clean though. This is probably a good way to describe them. They aren't super concerned with life in every corner of the screen at all times. However, Half-Life and Portal are very responsive games when it comes to interactivity, physics and other fun things they allow you to do. But the sterility is most likely a design choice. It enhances the premise. Let's take a look at another Valve game, Dota 2. Yeah, if you've played the game, this is probably not something you ever thought about, but if you stand still and watch the map, it's brimming with life. Every moment of the game something is moving. And at every edge of the map there is something creating the illusion of life. So it's alive and you can see the world breathing, but it's not something anyone would call invasive, I'm sure. It's soothing, intentional and makes you come back for another match. A relaxing match of Dota. But why am I bringing this up? I feel the talk about higher fidelity graphics is not going to make the games we play feel more immersive. In a game, we're more like an astronaut seeing the digital fantasies through a screen. And there are few senses allowed through games. but visual motion is something we are really interested in. And if you stop and the game is showing that everything stopped when you did, that creates a disconnect of expectations. So games as a medium need to overexpress liveliness for us to have the perception of realism. In reality, you as a human have a heartbeat. Your eyes shift continuously for new information. Small air pressure changes. Did someone just pass me and fart? I smelled that. And when we're on the topic of perceived realism, I have a point to make about something that a lot of people play each year, pay a lot of money for, and will claim it just gets better and better and more real and realer. It's of course FIFA! So this game is highly movement-based and visually interesting, almost as something you'd watch on TV. It's actually exactly like watching it on TV. And that brings a lot of relatability. From real-life crowds cheering, announcers screaming and talking, the crowd moving, players moving, the ball flies across the field, not a still moment in sight. But this is not how the sport is played. This is not what the real players experience on the field. This isn't realistic at all. But it is filled with life, and it breathes the sport's language. That's my point. Games need to move us. And games today should be more concerned with ambient life more than how high the texture resolution can go. Graphics should aid life, not stifle it. And reality doesn't need to prove it's alive, but games do.